Friday night under the lights, NASCAR Busch Series racing at the Richmond International Raceway, live on TNT. Under caution at lap 56, second yellow of the race. It happened in turn 1.
What do you think, BP? Watch the 28. I just think they all...
I don't know.
He was up high and he couldn't... There's no traction up there, but...
I guess that Brad Baker realized he was 3 wide and decided he needed to back up, and actually backed off, slowed down a lot slower than Kelly Denton, the 54th car, thought was going to happen.
Wow.
And that's big.
Look at that. Folks, when they tell you not to stand along the catch fence at a racetrack, that's why.
And Harvick is saying to himself, man, oh man, look at that.
Cleanup continues up in turns 1 and 2, trying to hook the Kelly Denton car up and pull it away. We'll come back in a minute on TNT. Just underway here at Richmond. Green flag is up. Jeffrey Bodine is the leader. He did not stop under the caution flag. You saw his earlier pit stop when he took on a set of tires. That was back at lap 18, so he stayed out and took over the race lead.
And on the restart, Kevin Harvick, the 2 car, was able to get by Jimmy Spencer. And here goes Jeff Green on the outside of Jeffrey Bodine. This is for the lead. And Spencer's on the inside of the 2 car.
He's kind of boxed in right now, Jimmy Spencer is.
This could get exciting.
That's not where you want to be right now.
He's going to try to make him a hole on the inside. Did it work?
It worked.
Not quite.
Well, he got by Jeffrey.
Here he goes on Harvick. I don't think Jimmy was real happy the way Harvick jumped him on that restart.
What makes you think that, Alan? The way that he's racing him right now, would that be why you would think that?
That would be my indicator.
There goes Hornaday on us. Matt Kenseth in the 17.
This is 3rd place. Not quite.
Now that's Hornaday trying to make a move on Biffle.
Tell you what, that outside lane here.
It's looking better right now. It didn't look good at the start, but now I think they're starting to get some rubber up there, and it's looking a lot better up there.
Jeff Green leads. Spencer is 2nd. Harvick 3rd. Kenseth 4th. Hornaday 5th. Biffle is 6th. 7th is Newman. Keller is 8th. Jeff Burton is 9th. And Jeffrey Bodine has been shuffled back to 10th here after the restart. Then you've got Kenny Wallace, Chad Little, Rich Bickle, Johnny Sauter, and Joe Nemechek is back to 15th. Now, I mentioned a minute ago, Harvick jumping Spencer on the restart. Let's go back and take a look at it.
Jimmy Spencer is the 3rd car in line. Watch the 4th place car. Harvick, the blue car.
Hey, that's a good move. That's a heads-up move on Kevin's part. You can't leave that outside lane open, because if you do, somebody's going to be there.
Looked like Harvick kind of laid back and anticipated the start, too. He wasn't closed up on Spencer.
Well, that's a no-no, but you got away with it.
One of the 2 drivers involved in the recent caution is with Liz Allison.
Kelly Denton, first of all, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. I just hate it for Brad Baker and those guys, you know, and our team too. Been losing, getting the pedal been getting spongy all night on the car, and went down in the corner, and I was getting some smoke from under the hood in the car, and went down in straightaway, and flames come out from under the cow piece, and brake pedal went flowing, just wiped him out, just run over him, and I hate it.
Pretty bad luck. Glad you're okay, Alan.
All right, Liz, thanks. Lyndon Amick has gone to the garage, joining the growing list of attrition.
Oh, Spencer, you're sideways. Easy, Jimmy, easy. Leading this race right now is not. Oh, and we got the 6th car. Josh Richardson has spun. caution flag is out.
Josh, the 19-year-old son of crew chief Donnie Richardson, in his Busch Series debut. And they come back to the caution flag, and everybody will hold their positions up front. Third caution flag of tonight's race. Richardson has had some pretty good contact with that right front into the outside wall. The U.S. Army Skycam looking down on the Richmond International Raceway. There are 212 ways to be a soldier. Find out more at GoArmy.com. Neat little stadium this is. Might be the perfect racetrack.
Rusty thinks it is.
Kevin Harvick showing a little smoke. Look underneath the car.
Yeah, he sure has something going on.
We can see right here.
Dave?
They've been diagnosing it, guys. They said the pit is open. They are going to come in and take a look at it. Of course, Wally, you know, as a driver, the first thing you say is, we hope it's a little rubber on the header, you know, just smoking that way, nothing serious. But then Kevin radioed back in, smells like oil. So that's not a good sign. He slowly comes down pit road now to his crew, who waits to see what they can find out when they look under the hood.
Yeah, there's a big difference between oil smell and a rubber smell. So he is... I couldn't see if there's anything coming out the back or not, but...
Well, here they are now. They'll go ahead and change right side tires and probably put left side. Actually, they're going to take them off and take a look inside of the right front wheel well. That's Mike Berry taking a check in there with the flashlights. And they're radioing in now. They're going to tell... Yep, Todd Berry, the crew chief, just told them to raise the hood. They asked Kevin if the oil light was... on, and now they're going to go underneath and see what they can see. There's no oil up on the hood, which is one good sign.
That's the hood. We got to make a lap here.
And you can hear them. They're calling the pace car coming down now.
One pin's enough. Let's go.
And the diagnosis continues. Doesn't look like they've discovered too much there, guys.
Yeah, that normally is not going to go away. I mean, if it's smoking that bad.
And they're on one to go, so he's got to catch up to the field, come down pit road, get the rest of those hood pins put in, and get back out for the restart. Let's go into the garage to Liz.
Now, and I'm with Brad Baker, who was in that spectacular-looking accident. What happened?
Well, I don't really know. Kelly said he lost his brakes, but all I know is I got hit from behind and turned pretty hard into the wall. And, you know, I could smell the fire burning and knew instantly what had happened back there, so I was trying to get out as fast as I could, and I learned the right way and the wrong way to get out fast with the Hans on at the same time. But it's just really frustrating because we had a great car this weekend. We just had a huge problem all day yesterday. Found it after happy hour. And I think we're going to be really fast during the race. We just never got a chance to show it.
Alan, we're going back to you. We're going green flag.
We are back racing minus Kevin Harvick. He's back on pit road. The hood has been up on his car. He's gone at least a lap down.
And we talked earlier about the championship deal where it only takes a race or two and for Kevin to have bad luck, and the championship is back in a race.
And Jimmy Spencer has taken the lead from Jeff Green.
And he better get a move on because here comes Matt Kenseth. That 17 car is flying tonight. Marty?
Yeah, the report Spencer got under the caution flag is that Jeff Green was going to make him pass him to the high side, and he told his guys in the crew, he said, boys, don't worry about me. I can take this guy to the low side. Spencer's car is absolutely terrific right now. It's a little neutral, so Wally, here's what he's doing. He's using the brake to help turn the car, and that tightens the car up a little in the corner because it's a little too free right now.
Yeah, he's using the brake bias. So actually, you know, if the car's a little bit tight getting in, he'll dial some rear brake in it, and that'll actually turn the car loose or get it a little bit sideways getting in. So the driver does have one little bit of adjustment that he can do there, but his car looks really, really good, so he doesn't need a whole lot of adjustment.
This is for 6th place. Jason Keller on your left in the 57, Ryan Newman in the 02. Let's mention that Kevin Harvick has rejoined the race. He's in 38th place, 2 laps down. that man Keller is second in points, and he's running 6th.
That could be bad. The fact that Kevin Harvick is 2 laps down could be bad news. Remember Bristol?
Yeah.
He got 2 laps down, and guess what? Came back and won the race.
Yeah. Dave?
Well, Alan, one of the other radio transmissions from Kevin was regarding oil pressure, which is something they read in order to know if the motor is still getting the correct amount of oil. And that'll tell them if they've got a real problem. And Kevin said the oil pressure was fine. And I just talked to one of the crew guys, and they think, well, they hope that maybe it's an oil line and not something internal with the motor. Maybe they got it fixed.
Well, to fix it, they had to do something.
Yeah, they either had to tighten a line or
either a line was
patch
loose
something or something.
Yeah.
So again, Harvick is 2 laps down now, back in 38th place, trying to pick his way through traffic. There's a couple of young guys going at it. 21 car is Johnny Sauter, 23 years old, his first NASCAR Busch Series race. He is the current point leader in the ASA Series. And he's being chased by Kevin Grubb. And this is for 12th spot. Matt?
I spoke to Gil Martin, the crew chief on this 21 car before the race. He said they're very, very impressed with Johnny Sauter's maturity. He's only 23 years old, but he's handled this car like a veteran. They came up here and tested over 400 laps just in race trim because they knew they had the provisionals to make the race. He's having a very impressive run right now, but he says the car is loose, so Gil told him to adjust with a brake bias like Wally was talking about earlier. They said a top 15 run would be the goal tonight. A top 10 would be exceptional. He's only about 2 spots from being exceptional.
Johnny Sauter has won 8 races out of 18 in ASA so far this year. That was enough to get Richard Childress's attention.
It sounds like a lot of these guys are loose getting in if they're messing with the brake bias, BP. Because if you're loose getting in, you know, you're going to want to dial a little bit to the front to make the car slide to front a little bit getting in.
Putting some pressure on Rich Bickle, Jeffrey Bodine. We saw Chad Little get through those two a couple of laps ago. Chad's up to 9th spot now. He started back in 29th. Wow. Take a look at this. Hornaday and Biffle.
Wow.
All clear, all clear, all clear. He's looking inside.
That was the voice of Jack Roush telling his driver, Greg Biffle, there's no one behind you. You got all the racetrack you need to try to get that thing under control.
Biffle running in 5th, chasing Hornaday, Spencer, and the other leaders. You're watching NASCAR on TNT.